when you're so afraid of the takedown, she didn't let anything go. And I think with someone with her length and her reach, she's got to start using that push kick up to the face, that push kick up into the sternum. Stop throwing those leg kicks and start moving. Don't ever stand directly in front of somebody. Let me give you a perfect example. And this isn't just directed towards Jenna. I'm saying anybody when you're fighting someone who's a really good wrestler. Look at what Clay Guida did tonight. He punched and then circled, punched and circled, punched and circled. I know Clay's an animal. He's got great cardio. So that's the one thing that he can do very well because he's got such great conditioning. Not a lot of fighters have the type of conditioning he has. So if you think you're going to go out there and just, I'm in great shape, I can do it in one fight. No, it's going to take you years of practice. At least 6 to 8 months of just doing it every single day, trying to get better at getting on your bike and striking while you're moving and still landing shots and power. Those are all things you're going to have to learn to do and get your body prepared to keep that pace throughout, a 3-round or a 5-round fight. Jenna didn't do that. She stood right in front of her. She did a couple nice things, then moved a little bit, but it wasn't like explosive movements. She was really looked like she was just kind of trying to land the one shot and time the entrance of Kayla, and it wasn't going to happen. The feints that Kayla can do, the bulldozing that she does, she just walks you in, smothers the space real fast. And once that fight hit the ground, there was no way of stopping it. But I did want to bring something up to you, John, was that Amanda Nunes was there. They're teammates.
Yeah.
She must know something that's not Amanda, but Kayla. For her to be the way she is, I know she's an Olympic, I know she's an Olympian, she's a medalist. But my point is this. She must know something from training with them that she belongs somewhere in that upper echelon of fighters. You know what I mean? Because the way she talks, it makes me sound like she not handles Amanda, but I'm saying that she has a lot of good work with her.
She does well.
You know what I mean? And so when you have someone like, yeah, it competes well. Yeah. Now I know we're talking about practice. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. The Allen Iverson quote. We're talking about practice. But when it comes down to it, I know in a real fight, it's different. But there's got to be something. There's got to be something that somebody knows that just means that she must be doing pretty well with, with the top level girls there out of ATT, and one of them just so happens to be Amanda. And so that says a lot. I'm not saying that she can beat Amanda, and I'm not saying she can beat, outside of Amanda, there's just Chris Cyborg. And then the rest of the females in that division at 145 or 155, because Kayla's at 155, it's like a whole nother, my hands aren't even wide enough on this
absolute
screen.
Gap.
Yeah, there's a big
in the
gap
level
between
structure of those couple of fighters and everybody else.
Yeah.
Just there is.
I would say Holly's probably up there. I'd say Holly. I
but
know Holly's getting older.
But Holly's a bantamweight. She really doesn't want to
fight at 45, though. She's fought at 45.
She has. I'm not saying, but she's a bantamweight.
Yeah.
So
and I say the same. I say the same thing about Jermaine Geronimi. She's also a bantamweight, but I think she's fought it. She was the title holder at 45.
Yep.
So I would say the same thing. I'd say those 4 girls are kind of that. They're like the top 4 girls in that weight class. Now, Kayla, I think, could slide in there and do very well, because stylistically, if she was to fight Holly and Jermaine and she was able to get them to the ground, I think it would probably be finished pretty quickly, with her level of pressure and, and jiu-jitsu a little bit. Judo players have normally pretty good jiu-jitsu. Not great, but it's pretty good. But their pressure and their strength are just pretty much unmatched. Judo players are extremely strong.
Yeah.
Extremely strong. And so, like I said, going back to the Amanda Nunes thing, it just had me thinking that there must be something that needs to be said that shows that she's that good. Because, Kayla, for Amanda to show up there and support her and be there for her and all those things, as well as the amount of training they've done together, I think that there's something there. That, hey, I respect you a lot because you've helped me so much, or whatever it is. You're really damn good.
Well, let's look at where the fight did take place at the Seminole Hard Rock, which is down where Amanda lives, basically.
That's true.
So it's not like she traveled with her, but from talking with several of the coaches there, Kayla does incredibly well with everybody, and in some areas she's better than everyone, and that's understandable. From her background in judo, she's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. So Obviously, there's things that she's going to do better than anybody else in there.
Mm.
The real question is, and you say all the time when you look at it, is how will she do under the lights? Well, she's done well under the lights. Would it be a different pressure of her fighting somebody like an Amanda Nunes in competition? Yeah, that's a different type of pressure. But she's dealt with that kind of pressure her entire life. And at the highest stage, again, she's an Olympic gold medalist. So there's not a doubt in my mind Kayla Harrison can compete with anyone. Can she be hurt? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. She's super strong on the ground. She's dominating people like Jenna Fabian. She's not going to dominate Amanda Nunes on the ground. Amanda's got a very good ground game. She's not going to dominate a lot of other ladies. She may do well, but she's not going to dominate. She's going to have to do a lot of things to wear them down. Mm-hmm. Same with Chris Cyborg. She would have to do a lot of work. Chris on the ground, she's good on the ground now. She knows what she's doing, and she's not just going to get bulldozed by someone, the way you saw what Kayla was able to do against her last opponent. So it really comes down, and I say, you're right with, Jermaine, she could go to 45. Holly could go to 45. Chris is 45. Amanda's 45. She's the one that can go down to 135 along with Holly and Jermaine. Chris and Kayla cannot. Kayla will never make 135. So the weight class that she could actually compete in, other than the lightweight that she is right now, would be the featherweight at 145. She's done it once. She did it when she went to Invicta when the PFL was basically closed down because of COVID. So, you could see her against Chris, and that would be a fantastic fight. On the feet, she's going to be at a deficit. She still doesn't have the skill set to match up with either Amanda, Holly, Jermaine, or Chris in the stand-up. Her real thing is take it to the ground and use her strength and her style, which is smart. I wouldn't blame her for doing that. That's what if I was in her corner, that's what we would work towards. But, the real question is, when is that going to occur? Because she is with the PFL. I know she supposedly is out of her contract at the end of this tournament season. We'll see what she decides to do. The whole thing is she's made a lot of money with the PFL. That's really, you're a prize fighter, but I look at her and she's a prize fighter, but she's also a competitor, and she wants to prove that she's one of the best. She wants to prove that she could beat a Chris Cyborg. There's only one way to do that. Mm-hmm. Chris isn't going to the PFL. Amanda's not going to the PFL.
Yeah.
Just being honest.
No, I know. I get a little frustrated when people say hey, why doesn't so-and-so come to the UFC and just fight him here? Why doesn't someone from the UFC come to Bellator and fight them there? Yeah. And it'd be no different than why doesn't someone from Bellator go to PFL and fight them there? Why doesn't someone from PFL? There's a lot to be said about home turf. When you walk into a separate cage, a different feel to it. It's the employees that work for the organization that makes it all feel different. It's a new place. I mean, look at guys that they've fought, all the guys that fought over in Pride. And when some of them came over, they didn't have very good first fights. Rampage being one of them. He didn't have a great fight his first fight, in the UFC. It wasn't spectacular. I think he got the win anyways. What, Marvin Eastman? Was it Marvin Eastman? Yeah. Yeah. I think he finished him in the second, but the first round wasn't a great round, and he didn't look great. But so it's just a matter of look, it doesn't matter who he fought. He fought a bunch of fucking amazing fighters in Pride. But when you get to a new organization, it doesn't matter. It's a feel thing. You got to feel comfortable in there. You got to feel comfortable around the people that you're fighting in front of, mainly the employees, because they're the ones that you see throughout the whole week of fight week. So that changes the way things work. So that's why I've always wanted that cross promotion to happen, but in the neutral ground kind of thing.
100% agree. Look,